ceremony at 12, so you're all welcome.
You think he's watching over all of
Oh
us?
yeah, then I don't think, I know. Today's All Saints Day too, right? And the whole bit. So he's watching.
That's where are you from, sir?
From LA, right here. We grew up about 5 blocks down there to the west.
How long have you been a Dodger fan?
All my life. I was born in April 5th, 62. The Dodger Stadium was April 10, 1962. So they say they named me after Vince Scully.
Oh, nice.
You know, Vince Scully's name is Vincent Edward Scully. Mine is Vincent Edward Rodriguez.
Enjoy. Thank you for showing off your player there.
I want to go ahead. You guys have been out here since, what, 5 this morning?
Well, almost, a little bit before, a little after that, but we've been here and it was well worth it. You know, we missed 2020 and we basically get a parade for both of those world championships, and it's more than worth it.
Can you believe the party atmosphere?
It's awesome. We just soak it in. Soak it in, world champions.
It has been so fun.
What was your favorite part of the parade today?
Oh, beautiful, seeing all the buses come in. I just made it in time. Got off of the subway, came up here, made it all the way to almost to the front, and got to see everything. It was beautiful.
How hard was it to get in?
Oh, on the Metro it was easy, but walking in is the hard part.
We're going to find that out. Thank you all for your time. Go Dodgers! I'm going to hand it back to you.
Oh my gosh, ladies, that was incredible. Love to see Fernando on the cornflakes box, and that gentleman was lucky enough to have it and to bring it here today. And we're going to take another quick break. We'll be back from Dodger Stadium and along the parade route in just a few moments. Well, I don't think there's any doubt. We love LA. I mean,
yes, we do.
Looking at
only she can sing. Yes, yes,
no,
she
but
does.
looking at all these wonderful people on the street, and our super fan Amber Lee is down there in that crowd in Grant Park. And Amber, I can just imagine. I have goosebumps all the way here at Dodger Stadium, and we think there's going to be a fabulous celebration here. But wow, what are you experiencing there?
I'm going to say for days, for months, forever. Look at our fans. Look at why we are here. All right, I'm here with Rebecca, who came from Orange County, Santa Ana. What time did you get here?
8 o'clock this morning.
And what time, how close did you get to the parade?
Not even close. Not even close to being close. But you know what? It was worth it to be here today.
Did you see any glimmer of the bus?
A little bit, but you know what? It was worth it to be a Dodger fan all day, every day.
All right. Who did you want to see on the bus? Who did you want to see on the bus? All right, you know what? This is the closest I'll ever get to a World Series trophy. So I'm just going to play with it right now. But, and also, you know, kind of take pictures with it. But tell me who you wanted to see on the bus today.
Everybody. Shohei, Freddie, everybody. Fernando, he left, but
Was it worth coming today, or if you had to get off work or whatever, was it worth it today?
it was worth it. It was worth it.
All right.
what?
Did you have school today?
No.
Oh, okay.
No school. School's off today.
School's out. And it doesn't matter, young and old, everybody was out here rooting for our Dodgers. I'm sending it back to you, Pat and Jim.
And each and every one of these players just being overcome in the moment here.
You know what, Amber, what I love to see, and I think what we all love to see, when we think about that last parade 36 years ago, look at the generations, you know? You've got the little kids, obviously, who weren't born, and some that may have been born, but they've grown up to love the Dodgers, you know, like everyone else over the years. That's just amazing. I was telling you guys, when I was a kid growing up in Detroit, I love my Tigers, obviously, but I knew about the Dodgers and the Yankees because that's what we watched on television all the time. So I've been a fan forever.
Yeah. That's what sports is really all about. But I was watching the feed, and I was looking and watching, and then I saw one person that has been to more championship parades than anyone. One Irvin Johnson Jr., Magic,
right?
Part owner of the Dodgers, and of course what he did when he was with the Lakers.
No question about that. We could really talk about Magic and what he's done, and being with this team and the Guggenheim Partners. Remember, you know, we've gone through some stretches. We've gone through the McCourt years.
Yeah.
And now here we are, and this has been a winning franchise.
The ownership here is fan-friendly. They want to do everything they can to make the fans happy, to make them comfortable, to give them a winning team on the field. And you don't find that in a lot of places. And a lot of places there are, we just want to get them in there so we can make our money. Not here at Dodger Stadium. And Steve, you know that better as well as anyone.
And Jim, it seems to me that this is a great example of when you're all in.
Yes.
The Dodgers did everything they could to get Shohei Ohtani here, to get Mookie Betts here, and to really get a solid team, number one. But look what they've done, not only aesthetically with the stadium, but outside the stadium with the situation out in center field now. It's almost a great museum out there of the history of the stadium. So they've done a great thing overall, not just with the team, but everything else involved.
And, you know, they go back many, many, many years. I mean, at first they were the Brooklyn Dodgers, you know.
Yep.
I know we're not necessarily here to give a history lesson, but while we're talking, we know that happened. And then the O'Malley family purchased the Dodgers.
But you know what, Pat? That's one of the great things about this sport. History. It teaches us. It teaches our young people. Our young people are going to teach their young people. That's what's going to make baseball just as great a sport as it is, as great as a history thing that it is, forever.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I think I could bet on this, that they moved from Brooklyn to Los Angeles. I doubt very seriously if they'll leave Los Angeles.
No, and there's so much goodwill built into that.
Yeah.
You know, in that history lesson, we're going to talk about that a bit. The Giants also came from New York, and there was just a slight difference between the Giants and the Dodgers, actually flipping cities. The Dodgers almost went to San Francisco, and the Giants very nearly came here to Los Angeles. Thank God it didn't happen that way.
Indeed, I love to see those guys. They've got their shirts off, and I guess
that's
they
another
should.
different thing I'm seeing today. People able to go out there and take their shirts off during the parade.
Okay, so that's something that you didn't do.
No. We couldn't do that. But
are you sure? Because we will go in the archives.
One thing we know, we didn't want Tommy taking his shirt off. That was a no-no. Right?
Yeah, the great Tommy Lasorda. Boy, what a day this would have been for him.
Tommy would bring tears to everyone's eyes.
Yeah.
With his emotional speeches. Steve knows that as well as anyone.
Yes.
But the other thing you didn't want to do with Tommy, you didn't want to invite him over to dinner.
No, that was a long night with Tommy Lasorda. So many stories about him, but you know, Tommy was the kind of guy that would never rip you in the press.
Right.
He if he had something to say to you, he would take you in his room and rip you really bad, but he did it on his own, and nobody else knew about it. And then it was done. He gave you a kiss on the cheek, and he said, "Okay, let's eat." It was over, and that's where he buried it.
Sure.
He's done that to me a few times. Yeah.
Get you a couple of free tickets to go see Frank Sinatra too.
That's right.
Well,
How about that?
Yeah.
But also talk about a warm-hearted guy. I remember going on a fishing trip with Tommy Lasorda and some of the Dodgers, and it was for school children who really had never been out of their neighborhoods before. I will never forget it. It was so memorable, and just how warm he was with those children.
Yeah, he loved kids, and Tommy was a way of connecting people. He would meet somebody one time, and 20 years later, remember their name.
Yes.
It was incredible, Jim. mean, I'm sure you saw him do that, and that's one thing that, you know, people from the past like Tommy connect to people that are out here today enjoying it. They've got the same memories of a guy like Tommy Lasorda.
No question.
And a lot of other things about Tommy is whenever he would go out to argue a call, the umpires knew him so well. They liked him so much. There was so much respect for him that sometimes they would say, Tommy, please, just go back and sit down. We'll get it right the next time. Please, Tommy. That's the respect
true.
he had from
That's
umpires.
true.
Yeah.
And
But that helped to make the Dodgers what they are.
Yes.
That
There's no doubt.
franchise.
There's no
and
doubt.
As long he was with the Dodgers for many years, Tommy was.
yeah, and you can see this team in as much as they're great, and you know, I bet you hear the Yankees even players talk about marveling how good and talented the Dodgers team is. This team is so not satisfied. I mean, they want to think about winning that thing several years in the future. And you know how hard it is to win a world championship, Jim.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have a lot of factors come into play. You got to be great. Stalwarts have to have their great years. You got to stay injury-free pretty much, and you got to have some luck. Believe it or not, the luck factor matters.
And the will factor for them to get back to the World Series again is right there. And you know what? They'll probably start getting prepared tomorrow.
Probably.
They'll
You know,
start
those
getting
conversations
prepared
are being had in the front office right now.
They're very hungry.
Yes, they are.
Well, how do you? Because you talk about injuries, and there were quite a few injuries going into this World Series. So, you know, how does that come into play? I mean, how do you not convince, but the players are pretty well conditioned anyway. But we can see what could happen. I mean, Shohei, for goodness sakes, did he throw out his shoulder?
So there are a lot of players who are on the bench for the Dodgers that would be starters for other teams.
Yes.
That's how strong this team is. And the Dodgers will keep that momentum going over and over again, because when one person gets hurt, the next person that steps up fills his position.
And, you know, the Dodgers have a laundry list of just pitchers right now that could be a whole starting crew for another team. That's how many injured players they have that are just pitchers, both relievers and starters. So you can imagine getting some of those guys back, projecting out when their return dates would be, and they got to factor that into what next year's team is going to be. Maybe using some guys as bargaining chips for other players, but they're stacked with talent.
And that was the bullpen had so much to do with winning this World Series.
Absolutely.
So they were definitely prepared. There's no question about that.
When the game came getting past the starters for both teams, it was lights out, because the Yankee bullpen could not even compare with the Dodger bullpen. When it came to that point, it was over.
Didn't stand a chance, that's for sure.
Okay, well, gentlemen, we will continue our discussion, but we have to pay for this, so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Put down the top, crank up the Beach Boys, baby. Don't
It's starting to leave, and the other half just wants to stay and have a good time.
They're feeling the vibes. They're enjoying this. It's still such a celebration. I love it.
And as you got to see, as the players ended up pulling out,
The players went by. They had their families. It was awesome. They were you know, recording the crowd too, so you could tell that they were really enjoying the moment. And then of course the training staff, the assistant coaches, like everybody was there. It was so great.
Yeah, it is such a good time. I can only imagine what Dodger Stadium is going to be like with surprise ceremonies. I'm sure all kinds of surprise guests.
As I said earlier today, I don't want to be the guy in charge of muting people, you know, on delay. Can you imagine some of those players?
It's still early. Hey, man.
Having fun?
Hell yeah! Dodgers won the World Series! We going back to back!
2025. Before we let you go, Mandy, can you step in here? Get in here. I know she's.
It's Fernando Valenzuela's birthday today. It's also our amazing producer and booker, Mandy's birthday.
Hey, Mandy, we threw you a party.
It's the best birthday party I've ever had.
You didn't even know you were working today.
Well, that is the vibe down here. I think it's just so much. It's been such a great, great morning. We want to get back to Pat and the crew out there because everybody has started making their way down that parade route. They're coming for you, Pat.
Well, you know what? You guys are having so much fun. I almost wish we could take SkyCal and come down there and join you where you are. But we're about to have a big party getting started behind us because the stadium is certainly filling up. And I can imagine that a lot of people will be coming from the parade route, ending up in Dodger Stadium. So that's what, like 56,000 strong.
Yeah, and there are going to be a lot of people,
folks here.
A lot of people are going to be standing out in the parking lots too, because this place is going to be full.
There's no question about that. But we're going to give you some more flavor of what's happening on the street, and our Jasmine Veal is in the middle of it all as well on the parade route. Hey, Jazz.
Pat, it is crazy. The parade may be over, but right now it is a party in the street. Look at this crowd. They're refusing to leave here at Grand and Fourth. It is a party. We still had confetti. We had confetti flying through the air. We had a shirtless Kike. We had them chanting MVP, MVP as Freddie passed. It is crazy. They are refusing to clear out. They don't want to leave. What a moment. What a moment for these Dodger fans, right? This is 13-year-old Maximilian. You are like a Dodger historian. Who won in 1976? The Cincinnati Reds! Who won in 1981? The Los Angeles Dodgers! Maximilian, he is amazing. I see Mr. Cartoon's mask in the background. This mask, it was worn by some of the players when the Dodgers beat the Mets to make it to the World Series. What does it mean to be here?
Shit means, who's champions? Dodgers!
Okay, Maximilian, what was your favorite moment of the parade?
To see the players, man. We were just playing Dodger Stadium, and the crowd here. Yeah!
And they're playing. They're not like us. I hear you rocking up. What did it mean to be here for the parade?
They not like us, baby.
I'm gonna give this back. Look at this. We are all blinged out. We have the merchandise. What does it mean to be here?
It means everything. I called off just to be here.
As did a lot of people. As did a lot of kids. I saw some people crying. There was confetti. What did it mean to see that and the players? Who did you love waving to the most?
Freddie! Give it to Freddie! Bring it home, yeah! Woo! MVP! MVP!
That's what they were chanting.
MVP!
Confetti that's still flying in the background. This is a moment that you probably won't forget.
It's unbelievable seeing all this from the first time. My voice is gone right now from yelling, screaming. Go Dodgers!
There we go. We could give this to you for hours. I mean, I want to show you. This crowd is massive still, massive. And the parade passed minutes ago. So they just want to be here, celebrate together. People from Houston. We have people who drove through the night from Sacramento, from the Central Coast, from the IE, all over. These Dodger fans uniting together here to see their favorite players. So could see what this come from behind victory means to them, right? I mean, against the bitter rivals, the Yankees. So thanks for hanging out here on KCAL News, right? This is classic. This is classic. Tell me about this.
I got it when I was a kid. Waited my whole life for this parade. We finally got one. We're here. Get used to it. There's more to come.
What did it mean here to see your guys, your players?
I've been coming here since birth. Opening day, every year I've been here. My birthday's April 1st, so this is meaningful to me.
Oh, thank you. It is pretty amazing. The flags. I mean, the unique. I saw one woman decked out head to toe in jewels. It was her Elton John Halloween costume that she transformed into a Dodger jersey full of sparkles. Look at it. Look, and you're remembering, who is this? Who is this that you're remembering?
My grandfather passed away 3 days ago, and I made him a promise. I said, Grandpa, I'll bring you to the parade, and I kept that promise. And he told me the Dodgers were going to win, and I know him and Fernando and everybody up there did it for him. Let's go, Dodgers!
And for Grandpa. Anything you guys want to say? Who did you love seeing the most?
We love seeing Mookie, and then my mom loves seeing Kiki Hernandez because that's her boyfriend.
Tell me about this.
2020 right here, 1959, 2024, 2025 next year.
Those are quite the rings. Those are quite the rings, Pat. I'm going to send it back to you. I'm hoping to get you some of this bling out here. Those rings are massive. I'll send it back to you.
I love Ohtani. I love every single player that's ever played. But what Fernando Valenzuela did for this
Wow, look at those rings. You know what? Behind us is the great actor Edward James Olmos. And before that, we heard from the Mariachis Las Cantrinas. There is a big reason for that. This team is so very important to the Latino community. And of course, Fernando had a lot to do with that. But let's talk about where we are. We're in Elysian Park. This neighborhood itself has so much love for the Dodgers over the years.
Yeah.
You know that yourself,
No question.
Here.
And when I first came here, it was right in the middle of Fernando Mania. And, you know, from the times that I've been down here in L.A. before in the past, it was nothing like what Fernando had done to this community. Really galvanized the whole Mexican-American community, especially in this area, and just shot the information, or excuse me, the organization forward in a way that nobody's really ever seen before.
And it affected every other team in Major League Baseball.
It did indeed. You're right.
My question for you now is, as close as these guys are right now to coming into the ballpark, what were your feelings, the 2 championships that you had here, what were your feelings the closer you got to coming through those gates and hearing all this noise for you?
Jim, it's a great question because you do it every day during the season. You're coming to the ballpark. It just gets to be kind of a rudimentary thing every single day. But when you come here in a parade, it's a whole different thing. It's just about having a great time with the fans, and it's just like magic. So, yeah, it's something very special.
Well, I noticed that you said that you were on floats as opposed to buses. So it was a more of an open feeling.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's a difference too because of the times.
It was almost like a more intimate nature because you were such the proximity with the fans is very, very close. And but today, because of safety reasons and whatnot, we have this. But still, it doesn't diminish anything. It's still a great celebration of the best team in the world.
You know, there was one other thing that we've been talking about, like where we are, and talking about Fernando Mania. And Fernando Valenzuela was a once-in-a-lifetime player for all of us. There'll never be another Fernando Mania for us. And when we think about this, how about we just share with you our thoughts in this very special piece on Fernando Mania.
3-0 to Lee Mazzilli. Fastball popped in the air, foul. Garvey, I think, has a play. And Fernando has his 5th shutout. Unbelievable.
Not many athletes have burst onto the scene like Fernando Valenzuela. The lefty from a small town in Mexico became a sensation at Chavez Ravine with an introduction that captivated the world of baseball and beyond. Valenzuela got the start on opening day in 1981 after Jerry Royce was injured the day before, and he made the most of his opportunity, throwing a shutout in his first major league start. And that was just the beginning. Fernando won his first 8 starts, going 9 innings each, including 5 shutouts. He combined success with a flamboyant style that spurred Fernando Mania and helped establish a bond between the Dodgers and the Latino community.
No words to express what's going on here. The sound of a cheering crowd tells it all. The Fernando Valenzuela magic is alive and well.
And his reach went all the way to the White House.
The most powerful men in the country, President Reagan, Vice President Bush, they were in line waiting for this kid from Mexico, no English, a little bit chubby, long hair, waiting for him to sign them a baseball. That was, my goodness, unbelievable. That could happen only in this country.
Valenzuela finished the strike-shortened season with a 13-7 record, a 2.48 earned run average, and National League best 180 strikeouts, becoming the first pitcher ever to win the Rookie of the Year and the Cy Young Award in the same year, and earning the nickname El Toro. He carried that success into the postseason, going the distance in Game 3 of the World Series as the Dodgers went on to beat the Yankees in 6 games for their first championship in 16 years. Fernando went on to make the All-Star game in 6 straight seasons from 1981 to 1986, finishing in the top 5 of Cy Young voting 3 more times. Valenzuela was part of the 1988 World Series winning team, but injuries would limit him. However, on June 29, 1990, he would provide one more taste of Fernando Mania.
Fernando ready, and the strike 2 pitch is hit back to the box, dribbling to second. Samuel on the bag, throws to first, double play. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter. If you have a sombrero, throw it to the sky.
Valenzuela would pitch for 5 more teams before retiring after the 1997 season and returning to the Dodgers as a broadcaster in 2003. While the organization did not issue his number 34 as a sign of respect, Valenzuela's jersey wasn't officially retired until 2023, when he joined Jim Gilliam as the only non-Hall of Famers to receive the honor.
I never think that he was going to retire the number, but make me a little bit surprised, but make me happy.
Fernando Mania was a sensation that had never been seen before, and Fernando Valenzuela is a man that no one will ever forget.
Oh, that was a great piece on Fernando Valenzuela, which would have been his 64th birthday today. And Jim, we were just talking, he did go to play for some other teams before he came back here to work in broadcast for the Dodgers.
And Fernando understood, like Steve Sachs knows, Fernando understood the business of baseball. And the business of baseball is, it doesn't make any difference how big a name you are. If the team can get something for you by a trade or something, then they will. He accepted that. That's what made him even a bigger person, because he knew the game of baseball and he knew that he was popular really all over the world.
Yeah. But he was a man of grace.
He certainly was. And Jim, you know, by going down there and seeing his home, yes, the humble beginnings that Fernando came through, and how his family with all the siblings would never ever let you get to be too big, if you will. Fernando was such a humble person, and that's one of the things I really admire about him. And also, if this is fate that just turns a certain way, today is also in the Mexican nation. Yes. Today is El Dia de los Muertos, which is the celebration of people that have passed.
That's right.
And on Fernando's birthday and him just passing, it's so fitting to have it happen.
Yeah, we are also honoring Fernando today. And you know what? If you can hear all of the cheers behind us, that means that the players are getting closer to Dodger Stadium. They're almost here. We're getting more excited too. But you know, going back to talk about Fernando Valenzuela and what he meant to this team, you know, to me, it's pretty rare to have someone, and I know he just passed, but his legacy is going to live on.
He's a man. I saw Fernando the first day he came into the organization, as far as for other guys to meet him. It was in the Arizona Instruction League in '79. Hair down to the middle of his back. Hitting balls way in the top of the backstop in the front, the cutout of the green in front home plate, but he certainly molded that into something very special. And learning that screwball was a big part of it.
That's right, and when we first met Fernando and got to know him and appreciate him, you know, Fernando had a little con in him. He was a little con artist on the field, on the mound now. All that innocence and which he had.
And knew more English than he let on.
Oh, I'm telling you, absolutely. He could hear everything and understand everything that everyone said about him. But he knew how to, as we say, play it. Yeah. And he played it to the hilt.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, see?
Oh, there they go.
All right. Some people are going to start reverting back to Saturday night. There we go.
I wonder who that would be. You know, we just love that they've got so much excitement going on here at the stadium. So many different things. Musicians from all over the country, from all different genres. And that's pretty important.
It is, because that's what this sport does. It appeals to everyone, no matter what you do or where you come from. Everyone, just about everyone, has had a stick in their hands at some time in their life, thinking they were Major League Baseball players.
No question, right?
Yeah.
So you know what? We were talking about the return on the investment for the Dodgers.
Yes.
Will everybody be back next year?
I mean, that's hard to say. We got, I don't know exact contract status on a lot of them, but some are free agents, some are just entering into the possibility of going to arbitration. So I would expect that Dodgers would try to go out and retain as many as they possibly can. Remember, they got some expensive players to look at. And you rightly mentioned Teoscar Hernandez is one of those players.
Free agency, right?
Yeah, and then there's Shohei.
And that contract is there. Mookie Betts is a huge contract as well, right?
The Dodgers are a step or two, maybe even 5 steps ahead of. Remember the way the Yankees used to be? George Steinbrenner, who owned the Yankees, would always pay a lot of money, pay more money to have the very best players that he possibly could. That's what started the Yankee dynasty. The Dodgers are doing the same thing right now, and then some.
You know what? And this is interesting because the talk has always been we should have done that a long time ago.
Exactly.
That's true. And you know,
right? That's true.
Money's a great thing, but it doesn't always provide you with a championship. And that's what I admire about the Dodgers. Sometimes it's harder to run a team or manage a team when the expectations are so high. The Dodgers have killer instinct on their team. Yeah, they pay a lot of money, but the players really want it.
And the players know their position and they know what their spot is on that team under Dave Roberts.
Let's talk about the impact then of Shohei Ohtani. Well, we're talking about money, well, we're talking about Dodgers players and what they bring to the team, right?
Right. Well, you're talking about Shohei. That's box office right there. He is going to bring in a lot of extra people to watch him, who want to pull for him, and he's going to perform and succeed on the mound.
A lot of people are talking about the amount of money they paid him. I've been hearing that Dodgers have made back a lot of that money already, just on the the heels of the jerseys and all the paraphernalia, memorabilia and whatnot. So I think this is a wonderful, wonderful thing. But remember, next year we get Ohtani squared, because we're going to see him pitch and we're going to see him hit. So this is going to be a great thing.
A phenomenal player, multi-talented, and but don't take our word for it. We're going to hear more about Shohei Ohtani, our $700 million player, what he's done for the Dodgers, and what we hope that he will do next. Here's Udavais Shabazis.
It's the Hollywood ending Shohei Ohtani deserved after his first season with the Blue Crew, and it's been nothing short of heroic. Before making a move to Major League Baseball in 2018, Ohtani was already a sensation in Japan, and he stunned fans with his rare two-way power as a pitcher and a hitter.
Shohei sends a ball out to deep right field.
Ohtani spent his first 6 seasons with the Los Angeles Angels. He didn't reach October baseball once.
Shohei Ohtani is a Los Angeles Dodger.
That all changed, though, when he became a free agent and made the move 30 miles north. With a record-breaking 10-year, $700 million contract, the Dodgers and Ohtani made it official last December. And they got a little help from another LA legend. The late Kobe Bryant helped seal the deal with a secret video he recorded in 2017. A message for Ohtani saying there's no better place to win than Los Angeles.
One thing that really stands out in my head is when I had the meeting with the Dodgers, the ownership group, they said when they look back at the last 10 years, even though they've made the playoffs every single year, one World Series ring, they consider that a failure. And when I heard that, I knew that they were all about winning, and that's exactly how I feel.
But even before the season would begin, it took an unexpected turn when it was revealed that his best friend and interpreter had stolen millions from him in a gambling scandal. He was left shocked by the betrayal, but none of this would diminish his presence on the field. He went on to make his mark with a season that will be remembered as one of the greatest in baseball history, smashing record after record.
Here's a 2-1. There's a drive. It's a bullet. Was there any doubt? Shohei Ohtani.
He is the only player to reach 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases in a single season.
On a 1-2, Ohtani sends one in the air. The other way. Back it goes. Gone! One-of-a-kind player. One-of-a-kind season. Shohei Ohtani starts the 50-50 club.
And he did it with the greatest single-game performance ever, going 6 for 6 with 3 homers, 2 stolen bases, and 10 RBIs against the Marlins. By now, Ohtani had just about every accomplishment an MLB player could want, besides one, a World Series. Now he finally has his first championship, and with Ohtani back on the mound next year, the show goes on.
The Dodgers take down the Yankees. This highly anticipated World
Okay, I don't know if you can hear behind us, but boy, this place at Dodger Stadium is going absolutely crazy because the players are at the gates and we are about to begin our program. Our masters of ceremony for this celebration will be Steven Nelson and Joe Davis. Talk about make some noise. They are. Can you hear this guy?
Hey, they asked me, what's the loudest stadium you've ever heard? Well, this might top it right here. This is blaring right now.
My question to you, take you back to your 2 times here. What was it like moments before you came onto the field and heard all this crowd?
You know, it's kind of a weird thing because you're used to the crowd. You're used to other people's stadiums and whatnot. But when you come out and have this kind of a celebration because what was at stake and what you accomplished, it's such a humbling feeling to come into this arena like this. So they're going to be feeling that.
Oh, there's that music. There's the organ. Let's go Dodgers. Is that what they played for you when you were here?
They did. And this is an offshoot of Helen Dell, who used to play this all the time, right?
Yep.
The organist from past.
Yes.
She used to play that all the time. So we're used to that one.
I sang with her, believe it or not.
You what?
I sang with her, believe it or not.
Yes.
Right down there. God bless America.
Yes. Great. I told you we got to pull that up. We're going to pull that up now and listen to you.
I forgot what year that was. It was in the 2000s.
Steve, are you getting a little emotional yourself?
You know what? I was kind of tired because it was a really early morning when I got up. And now going through this and kind of bringing back memories, I don't feel tired at all. I'm jacked. I mean, I feel great about this. It is a bit of an emotional thing.
When you were getting off the buses to walk through the center field gates, what was that moment like?
It was incredible. I mean, just being in the moment like that, with what you've accomplished, hey, you're part of the best team in the world. There's no more than that. And it's just really kind of an emotional thing.
Once you're a Dodger, always a Dodger.
Oh, no question. I mean, I played with a couple of other organizations, but once you've been in this organization and been through the World Championships and forged so many great relationships with people, you'll always be a big part of your life. No question.
I was going to say, to be here at a moment like this, and and witness these other players, where you were also in that same position 36 years ago. That's got to be awesome.
Pat, here's another thing. I come to Dodger Stadium, you know, periodically. I live up north. I come down here for different events. A lot of the same people still work at Dodger Stadium as when I played. And it's just like you're going back in time.
Really?
Yes, it's
you
great.
see some of the same people?
I see James Mims, who runs the escalators up and down. I see Richard, who runs all the security down in the field for Dodger Stadium. The same people work in the front desk. It's a crazy good thing.
But how cool that you remember people like that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That says a lot about you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Seriously.
I love it. Love coming here.
And on the scoreboard right now, you see the fans that are in the stands. The music is getting louder. You know what that means, don't you?
That's right. They're right around the corner. They're going to be coming in.
Well, just think. You know, we were here before the sun came up.
Yes.
This stadium was empty, just a few people, and now it looks like it's full to capacity now. So that's got to be, what, 50,000 people at least.
There's 50,000 people here, I believe. And when the players come in, this place is going to come unglued. It's going to shake. It's going to rock and roll. That's right.
No question. And we just saw the chopper flying overhead.
Yeah.
There's a lot of security out here. There's no question about that.
The players, how, you know, they're famous. They play for the LA Dodgers. Now they're super famous.
Yes.
Because they're going to be known all over the world, not just the United States of America. So
that's what the Dodgers mean to not only sports, but what it means globally, as Steve was just talking about. It goes all the way back to what the Dodgers were the first to do. The first Jackie Robinson, the first this, the first that, all of those things.
Back in the 1940s.
That is absolutely correct. So when you're the first to do something and you're successful at it, people appreciate it and they want more. And that's why they're saying, let's go Dodgers.
And you know what? That's why you see that blue hat all over the world.
Yes.
No matter where you are, you're going to see a Dodgers hat, right?
Yeah. When I live up in Sacramento, I see lots of Dodger fans. The goodwill built into the team starting back in New York reaches from New York, you know, eastward towards Europe, and now certainly with Shohei Ohtani and Yamamoto, what you're also having is a reach westward now for the team. So you're seeing this all over the globe for the Dodgers.
You know, let's talk about this for a moment. We just mentioned Mookie Betts. So we know Mookie won a ring in 2020. He won another in 2024. Steve, you won two. The way they're going, you know, he can set himself up for a handful, baby.
Well, it's going to be even more difficult because the other teams in Major League Baseball
are gunning.
That's right. They absolutely hate that the Dodgers win. I'm being mild. Steve can tell you, I'm not being mild when I say that. They hate it that the Dodgers. These teams right now sitting across the United States looking at this, they hate it.
Pat, I grew up a Giants fan up north. And I hated the Dodgers growing up, just like Jim said.
Rivalry.
But now, you know what? The other teams are going to gun for them, but Dodgers won't let that happen. They're too good.
Well, they got to spend a lot of money.
Yeah, they do.
All right. I mean, really, if you want to keep up with the guys on this team.
Yeah.
But like you said, money doesn't always win championships.
They have that other element of unity, and that's where we were in '88. We didn't have the most talent. I can tell you that. We weren't the most talented team. We didn't have near the talent this team had. But we had unity, and that means so much when you're going for a world title.
Okay, guys, question for both of you then. We've heard people say this, but is this the best Dodger team ever?
Well, it's the most talented Dodger team I've ever seen. And I played on two other teams that won it. Not nearly as talented as this team is. That's the biggest component they got going for them.
I would say it's one of the two or three best Dodger teams I've ever seen. But the way the crowd is acting right now, and they're talking about y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here, this may be the most talented team because they're bringing the crowd out like this.
And the guys are off the buses. They're walking in.
Something tells me Kike's going to come in with his shirt off.
Yeah, he may be one of the ones on the bus without his shirt on, that's for sure.
I think so.
I can't hear you, Dodger fans!
I hope you can hear that at home. Incredible.
And also for a lot of people, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see something like this. But for Dodger fans, sometimes, you know, it's multiple times that the championship has come to the Dodgers. But it makes the Dodgers fans even hungrier, and it makes the players hungrier, and it makes the organization a little more hungry, too.
Okay, well, guys, we're getting ready to start the show, so let's listen to Steven Nelson and Joe Davis.
Magnificent championship face. It's Steven Nelson.